Hello, and welcome to this introductory look to the Farbfilters, the 4 Farb modules from making sound machines. Farbfilter, which is a Moog transistor style low pass filter, Farbfolder, Farbshaper, and a Farb Highpass, which again is based on these Moog filter topologies. Farbfilters are these kind of light gels or light filters that you might have seen if you've done anything with a lighting rig before, and these are very much a colourful and characterful way of working with your audio. This is just an introductory look at the modules. It's not an in-depth demo. We're just going to have some fun patching with each of them and play around with them all together at the end of the video, which is really where these shine. They look great and mirror this Farbfilter styling with these colours here. It gives that nice rainbow of light, shall we say, to your system. Now before we get into musical examples, let's just check these out with a basic stable oscillator wave. And I will say these are prototypes, they're not quite the production release versions. Some small tweaks will be made, but these are very close, so I'm quite happy to present them to you here. Let's start with the Farbfilter, which is very much as happy being an overdrive. With tons of drive on tap. We have a folder, we can fold a saw wave. It's a great looking waveform. Let's go to a more standard triangle in terms of waves that we'd fold. Triangle into the Farbshaper. Unique looking waves. Let's change our input to be a saw wave again. And finally the Farb Highpass, which has a tilt EQ for a more subtle EQ tilt, as well as that high pass filter. So let's dive into some patches. So this is the Farbfilter, under quite a lot of modulation. Moog style transistor ladder. I'm using this VCA mixer for all the modulation. Here's my input as is, back near a unity gain. Now, I'm going to mod this resonance with this quarter note pattern, and then let's add some envelope modulation. All this mixed modulation comes into cutoff here. You can hear how vastly different that response is with that on and off nature of the resonance modulation. I also have a slow LFO here. Stepped modulation, and some audio rate modulation from a pulse. So let's create a little blend, and let's just crank that drive up. Bit of audio rate mod. So here we'll check out the Farbshaper. And full credit to Making Sound Machines for this patch. I asked them, is there a specific patch or group of patches you'd like to kind of show these off with? And this is one they told me to check out. So thanks to them for this patch. Now, it sounds really good. I'm just going to have to jam on this thing first and foremost. Now this is simply a saw wave into the Farbshaper, and I will say there's an extended patch rundown for everything else going on in this patch exclusively for Patreon supporters. If you'd like that, go check out the link in the description. Saw wave coming in, and the output is what we're directly hearing. There's nothing else going on, no VCAs, no envelopes. And there's just such a huge range. If I change to say a sine, back to the saw wave. This is a rhythmic stepped sequence. It's the velocity output from Tuesday from This Is Not Rocket Science. And hopefully you can hear this kind of dancing stepped motion. I'm modulating pleat with the accent output, which is a gate signal. A really nice kind of clicky, percussive, choppy effect using a gate there. Both modulations together. And with these lower settings at the top. I love this kind of dynamic shifting of some notes coming through, some not. It's chopping the sound up, it's clicky. Little jam again. So here's the Farbfolder, set against some drums. So here's my input, this green trace sine wave. The blue overlay graphic is the fold, and both colour and fold here. Do the same thing, however fold has that bit more range, and fold becomes an attenuator for incoming fold modulation. So we'll add an envelope here to this fold. Fold becomes the attenuator for the modulation. Colour is still a manual fold amount. We also get bias modulation. Pushing our input waveform up and down into the positive and negative rails that then folding back on themselves. Drum beat back in. So this patch is all about the Farb Highpass. I have this drum beat, which has nothing to do with these Farb modules at present, but it is the input to what eventually goes into the Highpass. So this kind of started as a parallel crunchy layer that I could filter in and out of the beat. So here's the dry beat added in. playing with these filters. So I chopped the sound up in a VCA, again with this tight 16-point envelope. You can hear it sounds like it's got a rhythmic gate on it. So I started to then modulate this with some random modulation of the cutoff. Then adding some LFO to panning in my mixer. They're these really crunchy, smashed version of this beat, heavily modulated there in the high pass. And it's a bit of a specialised example of a high pass filter, but it's one that I've been having fun with, as is the point of this video. So let's just make some music and have a bit of a dance. So here's the Farb modules. I'm heavily folding a saw wave, then filtering it, and then taking a triangle wave from the same oscillator, heavily shaping it in the Farbshaper, and then high passing that, and taking these two groups of modules as mid-side signals, and as well as heavily animating all of the Farb modules, I'm animating the stereo width and stereo image. Lots of different envelopes kind of interplaying in the modulation here. So I can change the behaviour of these VCAs after them. That's into a big verb. It's been sidechained. And then there's some drums. Let's just have some fun and make some music and enjoy these modules. Take this as your chance to leave comments, questions and suggestions for patches. Head to Patreon for that bonus patch, hit like and subscribe, all that usual stuff. Let's just enjoy these. Bye for now.